Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another daily technical analysis video. So we're going to be looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. You know, the basics, the classics. So for Bitcoin, we got still in this range. I drew this a couple days ago. And for there to be a big move, we need to see, because we could still move all the way up to this range high, 61K, and then all the way down and still be in this range. And then the even bigger range actually would be, you know, about 70K to probably right here. So the bigger range. But for there to be a move to those levels, mainly to the upside, because obviously that's the bigger move, right? The big breakout move. For there to be a clear direction, we need to see obviously, some solid support, continuous support if we do move down. But if we do break it, it's gonna flip as resistance, and then we're gonna move down to here most likely 55K, bounce off of it a couple times probably, and then move down. So that's the bearish path clearly. Then we got the bullish path that I'll draw for you. So we could bounce off of it still and move sideways. Test up to here, act as resistance, flip it, and then we could move higher if we break it and it acts as support. That would be the bullish path for towards 70K up here, and we might get rejected or have a little bit of resistance at 65K right here. These body closes, so to even further extend it, we would get rejected a little bit and then have to flip that, something like that, right? For the bullish and bearish path that I'm looking at for the next big move, because if we break 57K, 57.5 just about, we would most likely go down to 55K, and that would be a decent trade if everything lines up and it's looking clear. And then if we break 61.6 and it acts as support a couple times, we could be trading back up to 65 and then possibly 70K, right? So those are the trades that I'm looking at. And the RSI is looking good, the moving average curving up, the RSI being above the moving average. So we could have, I believe it would be bullish if the moving average crossed. I'm not sure if it would be actually bullish. Actually, it kind of was bullish right here. The moving average crossing, or that's the RSI crossing above the moving average. So I'd have to test that a little bit, but the moving average might, if the RSI lags, the moving average will cross above the RSI, and that could actually be a false indicator or a false signal. But if the RSI continues to stay above the moving average, that would be clear strength, in my opinion. And it might just be a false signal, though, if the moving average crosses above while the RSI stays, goes below it. So that would be technically a cross below, and that would be bearish or a false signal to the upside. So we could see the RSI cross bullish above to here, but then the market structure would still not be bullish, and we could get rejected off of it. And then there could be a third path where we, trade above here and then just trade back down here. And that would be more of a bullish slash neutral path where we just trade back still in this range, not finding a clear direction. And that could be a range trade, right? This could technically be classified as a range, maybe. If we take the Fibonacci right here, we had a, whoops, if we have a 75% retracement, which we went down, we had a retracement technically above the wicks, right? So this could be kind of a range. If I'm drawing that correctly, it's a little bit subjective, but that could be a range. Let me look at the line chart. Let me look at a fresh chart on the line chart, because that could be a little subjective. Let me look at a fresh chart right here, yeah. Just to see if this is actually a valid range or not. Yeah, kind of is. It would be more bullish or more confirmed as a range to make a range trade if this closed a little bit above the 75. But other than that, you could say this is a range. And maybe actually if you took from the top right there to all the way down here to this, whoops, to this low to this high, take the retracement tool, and if you take it like that, then we wouldn't be in a range because we would need to close below, for a 75% retracement, you need to close below the 0.25. So it's a little subjective which way you draw it. But, you know, I took it from here to here, and it kind of is a range, right? So, yeah, that's the Bitcoin trade that I'm looking at, the paths. And then Ethereum, we got, put on the candles. We got more resistance above and more resistance levels above to be broken, because this is the chart is a little bit more bearish. RSI is bullish, but not as strong as Bitcoin. And we got, you know, 2.5K as resistance, and we're testing it heavily, testing it again. And if we keep testing it, the weaker it gets. So we're most likely going to flip it and then go below, or not below, but to 2.3 just about. And it'd still be in this overall range from here to here. This is just an interim level right here, just a little intermediate level, right? I'm not going to delete that, but I will delete this because the two main paths for bullish and bearish, I'll draw the bullish one first. You could keep testing this. Yep, go to 2.7, have a little bit of resistance, but flip it and then continue higher to make a trade above 2.9K. So that could be a trade if that sets up like that and the RSI remains bullish. It could be a little short-term, couple-day trade. And then the bearish path would be if we break below it, get rejected, we would trade most likely down to 2.3 and then possibly even lower. So yeah, Ethereum just overall looks weaker. And I forgot to mention the bands, the EMA bands with these moving averages is completely bearish on the daily, and on the 4-hourly it's just super choppy. Let me delete this to show you clearly. Super choppy. You know, you had a trade here that was decent if you somehow caught, you know, before they flipped on the 4-hour. But then, you know, if you took this short, you most likely got wrecked unless you somehow got right up here to like right down here before the flip. It's just not very good trades on the 4-hourly. So, and then if you take a look at Bitcoin, let me go to this one and delete this one. Even worse chop on Bitcoin. You know, it took this long. You'd be lucky to get out. So I took some of these trades and just got completely wrecked. Just so you guys know. And I'm going to be looking at the daily bands from now on to make high time frame trades, because the 4-hour is just a little bit too choppy right now when it's in a range technically. And now let's go on to Solana. The RSI is it's riding the MA really heavily, so there's no clear direction at all. It's completely neutral. That's what I think that means. And EMA band's completely bearish. For market structure levels, we got, you know, clear level right here, and clear resistance right here at 163, and then a bit of support, you know, right here is valid. And then for an intermediate level, kind of right here. Let me look at the line chart. Yeah, kind of right here. A little choppy. You could consider that a false breakout. This could just be a false breakout, but that could be signs of weakness. So, wait 1 second. Okay, yeah. So that could be signs of weakness where it could have already, it either could be invalidated and it could be, you know, bouncing higher, trading in this range to go up to 163. And that could be a little trade right there, a little bullish trade. And then maybe up to, if we, you know, flip it, confirm it as support, could trade back up to almost 200, basically all-time highs. Or not all-time, but I'd say right here is valid. Little false breakout wicks. So we could trade that. if it breaks out from right here and confirms, we could trade that from 163 to 185 about. That could be a decent trade setting up for the bullish. But what's more likely, because it's just a lot weaker, just like Ethereum, is that, you know, since we already have the false breakout right here, it could be an early sign that it's very weak and just going to go trade back down to 130 and then maybe even possibly make new lows, because the chart is a bit weaker, as well as the RSI, and overall it's just weaker because the chart structure is just not very strong like Bitcoin. We just go back to Bitcoin real quick. You know, very similar, but the main differences is that Bitcoin, first of all, didn't have a close below. It had a false breakout wick, that's a false breakout, just a wick. Unlike Solana having multiple 2 days closes below it, below a decent level. And then Bitcoin, you know, having clear resistance for the same day. And then Ethereum's kind of just like Bitcoin, actually, having a good level right here. But I also wanted to show you, very last thing was the liquidation heat map. Let me go back to the 1 day. We got a lot of liquidation. So if we go down to 57.7, there's going to be longs getting liquidated. So on the 1 day, it looks like there's more longs, right? 50 million just about in longs that are going to get liquidated at 57K. And that could be signaling that the market would want to go down to 57K. You know, grab that liquidity and then trade back up for the bullish path, right? So it looks something like this white path that I have. You know, trade back down, which we kind of had a sweep. You can see right here, we had a sweep at 57.8, and it's about 57. Wow, literally just 57.8. So, you know, that already happened right here. And it grabbed some of it, bounced back higher, retraced it, you know, grabbed this liquidity here. This is just a clear range in between massive liquidities, massive leveraged positions. And it looks like we actually are breaking above it. But this could just be a little false breakout. And then it could be the bearish path. So kind of like the white path, right? Or like the inverse of the white path. Grabs the liquidity, trades back up, and then instead of breaking out, it just trades back down to go bearish. But let's look at the futures data real quick to see how much more. So we got more longs, like I was saying, than shorts. Just about neck and neck, but a little bit like 60% more longs. Or 60-40. I just want to look at Ethereum real quick. I'm guessing it's like the same thing. A little different. You know, we got more longs. 1.7 mil at 2650. And then the next level would be 2580. The market could, more likely would want to go up and then go down. Like oh, I deleted the path, but the path would be like, you know, go down to sweep one more time and then trade back up to trade higher, something like that. And then actually, this is the last thing I wanted to show you. I haven't looked at this, so let me just look at it for a second. The average mining cost of Bitcoin, what is it right now? 74K. So this indicates that the miners are unprofitable because they're mining, it cost them 74K to mine 60K just about Bitcoin. So the miners are unprofitable. This is a bullish signal, actually, because if you look the last halving, about 2020, it cost, let me look, I think it was May. I think it was May right here. Yeah, so when the halving happened right here, I believe, it cost almost 20K to mine 10K Bitcoin. So it was super unprofitable to mine. But that signals Bitcoin needs to go higher. And clearly, we all know what happened. Bitcoin went significantly higher by threefold. So that's a bullish signal, actually, the mining cost being higher. And that just means Bitcoin needs to go higher for the miners to be profitable and stay in the system. But regardless, they're going to mine and all and whatnot. But yeah, that's basically what I got for you today. And no short-term trades. Actually, well, the short-term trades would be if we confirm this as support. We could trade this from a range trade to 57 back to 62 just about. Could do that. Or if we break below, trade it from 57 to 54. These aren't short terms. These are like a couple days to a week trades. And, you know, being right dead in the middle, there's no clear direction and no reason to take any trade right now, because we have to break significant market structure to have a reason to go in a certain direction, right? And yeah, these are the paths basically lined out right here. And we're playing more into either the red or the white. You know, the red being more likely because of the overall, you know, downtrend clearly. But yeah, now that's all I got for you guys today. Definitely check out, be on the watch out for more videos further upon this week and, you know, in the future, because a trade is going to happen and I will let you know what I'm doing with my trades and all that. And yeah, that's it. Peace out. See you guys in the next one.